Max0r's Doom Eternal Review, the Fanboy Edition. I love fanboys. As someone who loves Doom Eternal and thinks it's the best game from Doom, hey, I played the original games. I think they're awesome. Doom Eternal is for me the best game. And as someone who is preparing to play the Ancient Gods DLC, I'm kind of curious what he has to say. So let's get into this mindfuck of a video.
I swear to God, if you throw me into that portal, I will fall. You were never one of us. You were nothing but an imposter. A false crewmate. You are such
I don't remember this being in the game. Wait, hold on. I don't remember this dialogue in the game. Did I play the wrong version? This seems way better. Reviewed by Max0r's.
Doom Eternal is a game with so much testosterone dripping from its orifices that it caused me to create a son via mitosis. In this adventure, you play as John Doom, a man stricken with irrationally severe autism who does not consider or think through his actions and effects on other people. And in his quest to save mankind, kills God, and Satan God, who is also himself. If this in-depth and engaging, hardcore male gameplay sounds appealing, then I've got the game for you. This game is of course the sequel to the critically acclaimed Doom 2016 with a few key differences.
Wait, how this 2021 for Max0r's video? This is not edited at all. It seems like honestly, this is so old. His newer videos are like so different. Like the editing is changed.
This video is up
immensely.
Genshin Impact is a playable.
Yeah, like
anime, and that's pretty good since my videos are attempts to make.
Yeah, so this was first 5 seconds of his later video from 2 years ago, 2023, and this one from 2021. I'm a minute, and there was not even like a single pipe drop or like these sound effects, the retarded sound effects. Like no zooming, no distortion, no color grading, like nothing. Also, yeah, the pictures just boom. Just appears from out of nowhere, which in this case, when there's any picture,
they made a
yeah, there's just like transition with the pictures and transition, and it's still moving, and it's always like doing something. It's crazy. Also, can we talk about the text? The text is also extremely different. Yeah. The text always the same, kind of hard to read, and it's like doesn't really fit. In his newer videos, the text is so good, it feels like it's actually from the game. Yeah, I think it is the best scene
that have
in this.
Or form. No, we do not.
He changes his font every single time, changes the color of it, how the text looks. It feels like it fits the game. Every time he uses a text, it fits the game. It fits. He really thinks about absolutely everything, about the zooming, more like cinematographic perspectives, color grading, stuff like that. Like, I don't see this. His old videos are weird to watch, honestly.
God, who is also himself. If this in-depth and engaging hardcore male gameplay sounds appealing, then I've got the game for you. This game is of course the sequel to the critically acclaimed Doom 2016 with a few key
I love
differences.
the Sonic. Yes, the Sonic 2016.
Which meaningfully extends and builds off of the gameplay and challenges that we love, then extends them some more off of a fucking cliff, until the product that emerges out the other side resembles crack concentrate. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you've probably played the game, since I don't actually...
Dude, no fucking video distortion, effects, and color grading is crazy. There's nothing like that in his older videos. They're so calm. It feels so calm to watch. Like, actually, it feels extremely calm. Like, if I compare it to this.
Spanning a gigantic world slightly larger than Africa, we will find many secrets, uncover many attractions, and slay the entire cast of the Bible.
It's crazy. It's crazy how in just 4 years, his editing style changes immensely. From like semi-normal editing, still extremely zoomy and extremely fast, into a pure ADHD shitfest, now into more cinematic stuff, more about the storytelling and the editing and how to tell a story via that editing. It's kind of crazy how its editing style changes so much. 4 years ago, this is how Max0r looked like.
Want to help people buy things. I'm here to entertain people, and if you're clamoring for entertainment and haven't purchased this game yet, do yourself a favor. There's enough male hormones here to transition someone, and I can guarantee you results, my fellow Sigma males. So whether you're a psychopath like me or new to modern Doom games, come with me on this amazing journey through Twitch gameplay, beautiful environments, nonsensically fucked up lore, and remixed Mongolian throat singing. For money is temporary, but Doom is eternal.
Part 1, gameplay. Okay. Going straight to the best.
Doom Eternal's gameplay is quite unique, and not for the reasons that you would think. Everything in Doom Eternal is funneled directly into a single, robust, multifaceted, multinational, and unilaterally combat system, from which the entire game is built around. But Max0r's, I hear you thinking, that's every game ever. Yes. Every good game ever. If I, for instance, became 12 and booted up GTA 5, I would be able to do at least a dozen unfun activities. Doom's design is focused harder than the average Persona fan on his local playground, and that...
What did he just said? I feel targeted. What the fuck?
Is special. You will play the game in the way that is fun, or you will lose. So as good as 2016 was, a Polygon journalist could beat the first half, and that's unexpected.
The journalist. The journalism. Ah, yeah. The journalist that plays Doom 2016 and Eternal.
Acceptable, because yes, it is actually unfun to play games after having a lobotomy. In other games, I get to choose between...
Wait. This is still my favorite. Doom Eternal. Where's the video? There it is. Dean Takahashi. Yeah, that's him. Oh, I love this video. Cinema! Absolute cinema! This is peak journalism. This is absolute peak journalism. What is the most replayed shit? Oh. Oh yeah, trying to pick up the ammo for his pulse weapon. Does journalists. Also, Dean Takahashi, by the way, is the same guy that made the infamous tutorial in Cuphead. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this video. The abysmal journalist tutorial of Cuphead, where he couldn't dash through this obstacle. Everyone knows it is the same journalist, aka Dean Takahashi. That guy who just played the Doom Eternal is the same guy that couldn't pass through this obstacle in Cuphead's tutorial. I love journalism.
Things like stealth, vehicles, or outright combat. Yet Doom Eternal asks the question, why not force you to use every mechanic all the time without stopping? In a world where AAA studios try to pander to everyone, it's refreshing to have a game that sets out to do one thing the best, and actually have developers who give a shit about linear design and gameplay. And the main component of that gameplay is the arsenal, because John Doom uses every weapon throughout the game. The first shotgun is used in the last level, and the last level is used by the first shotgun. When you get an upgrade,
the last level is used by me. Yeah, and then there are fucking console gamers who say, oh, it's so complicated, I need to use, what do you mean, 8 fucking weapons? That's impossible. Yeah, no fucking shit, you're playing on controller, you stupid ass. Don't play it on controller. Playing Doom on controller is actually worse than being fucked by cactus. Like, actually, I would shove a whole cacti up my ass than play Doom Eternal on my console. Like, actually, it's impossible. I had the option, like, 2 years ago, to buy Doom 2016 and Eternal, and I think it was also other games. It was like a whole bundle of Doom games for $2. For $2, a whole Doom bundle on my PlayStation 4. I didn't buy it because I thought, am I really gonna play Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal on a controller? Do I really wanna fuck myself? Do I wanna experience the worst BDSM ever? My answer obviously was no, I don't. And then I closed the store and never thought about it ever again. I love the console gamers. Like, console gamers crying about Doom, saying how it's unplayable and it's slow. They are so stupid. It's so funny. It's so funny, the Doom Eternal reviews from console gamers saying, oh, it's so slow, the game feels so weird to play. Yeah, no shit. Play it on PC, idiots.
Shotgun is used in the last level, and the last level is used by the first shotgun. You get an upgrade. It isn't a replacement. It's a genuine addition to your arsenal. Every one of them has specific uses, and yet these don't interfere at all. They enhance. How do I kill an enemy? Well, shoot his hands off. Fire a rocket. Fire a ballista. Fire flame. Freeze him. Fire on his freeze and froze. Shotgun. Brain aneurysm. Just as important as how you kill is
Shotgun
how you heal and how you restore. Fortunately, the aggression of this game rivals my dog in a kindergarten. Like real life, the only way to get ahead of the competition is to kill them. How do I heal when low? Kill them. How do I get ammo back?
Kill them with a chainsaw.
In addition, most weapons in the game have 2 mods which completely change their behavior. Such stunning examples would be the microwave beam, the automatic shotgun, and the fucking destroyer blade. God, that shit's cool. But on top of 8 weapons, 12 mods, and a declining mental state, we keep going. More than any one weapon, you'll be using your suit abilities, and they all have individual buttons. This is in addition to the 8 that you use for weapons. These would be things like zoom for fast, grenade for...
Yeah, you have 15 buttons that you are constantly going through. And it's not like you're not gonna use them. You will actually use all of them. The most used button for you is obviously WASD. Spacebar. Oh yeah, I forgot spacebar because you're jumping and double jumping. Then shift for dash and all the weapon. You're not using your wheel scroll. You are not using your Q button like ever. Don't use scroll wheel unless you're good. You're doing the skipping with your double shotgun. Like, oh my god, every button. Yeah, I'm an ant. I used every single button in Doom. I have 15 hands.
Death, Swedish grenade for life, punch for no reason, and a flamethrower for armor. I play Invoker in Dota 2, and this shit makes me play my keyboard like it's the fucking Moonlight Sonata. I thoroughly recommend playing PC and never using the weapon wheel for maximal Ritalin output. And if you can't switch weapons
said it as well.
play on easy mode. That's fine, man. We're all busy. How about I give...
Wait.
And if you can't switch weapons fast or play on easy mode...
Ew, easy mode. Yeah, that's right. Ew, easy. I've never played any game on easy mode. Like, actually. Don't play it on easy mode.
Easy mode. That's fine, man. We're all busy. How about I give you 2 more buttons? You thought I was done. There's 2 ways to kill a demon in Doom Eternal. The fun way or the funny way. And to maximize the funniness level, we have the Crucible, which is a direct instantaneous kill on every enemy. Giant area boss, dead. Previous area boss, dead. The final boss, fuck 'em. Now I hear you thinking, Josh, that sounds pretty strong. Oh boy, buckle your ass. Because the second super weapon on my extensive list of 2 things is the BFG, which canonically stands for Big Fucking Gun. Also canonically, it fires a hole directly into the core of Mars.
You can't just shoot a hole into the surface of Mars.
We indeed can shoot a hole in the surface of Mars.
I could kill an enemy the long way, or I could kill him and his dog faster than the ATF at Waco. It clears out everything you can see instantly. I am so thankful the game limits how many times at Waco. It clears out everything you can see instantly.
Yes, I do know that it's not instantly, nor does it kill everything, such as tyrants. Also, yes, I do know that tyrants aren't bosses, and I don't want to mention the Animaker. I said things that... I mean, it does kill instantly. Shut the fuck up. Nah, backseaters.
I am so thankful the game limits how many times you can do this. Now, I understand that at first this may seem complicated, but that just isn't true because the entire game is effectively a tutorial for hard mode. And because you're always learning as you play, it never feels stale. Doom even lets you choose what stats and runes to upgrade. I spec'd entirely into mobility and ammo, making my character a flimsy, crack-addled spider monkey. As a side note, we should release dozens or possibly hundreds of macaques into New York City. They can survive there. Why does Thailand get to keep all of the good monkeys? So what more is there?
What was this weird tension? The fuck? Yeah, monkeys.
to learn about Doom Eternal. Well, have you ever given thought to the various unwashed baboons that I'm fighting? The answer may shock you. Those are the... As you may have guessed, there are at least 3, perhaps 4 demons in the game, which is a lot for someone who is a small, blonde anime lolly such as myself. But it's the variety of the demons that make the game interesting. There are 4 demons. Demons can fly, they can roll around like hedgehogs, contract obesity, and be bastards. Who is Sandy Loam? Who is Tsushima? Amy Rose? I didn't know she could stand. The point of the entire game, therefore, is to balance targets, switch weapons, and scream internally as you repeatedly fail to be cool. Just like
he said it eternally. He said it. Haha, I heard it. Eternal. Get it? Because it's Doom.
What I'm getting at is every demon has completely different behavior and goals from one another. The Doom Hunter rolls around in a comically small tank. The zombies, like us, exist to die. And the Marauder produces controversy. He does a lot of damage, blocks your attacks, fights you at wild speed.
I know. I think he causes a skill issue. Just, I don't know. It's very simple, guys. It's very simple. Just don't be too close to him. And don't be too far away from him. Be at the exact position from him. And make sure to only press 3 buttons for your weapons. You're switching between a rocket launcher, ballista, and double shotgun. And sometimes you can even shoot your grenades. So what you're gonna do is, once he flicks his green light, you're gonna shoot him with either ballista or double shotgun. And then, this is very important, you strafe back and forth, WS, 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 WS from him. You strafe back and forth from him, and you're switching from ballista to double shotgun, then into grenades, not on him with the grenade launcher, but on his feet to stagger him from his animation, and then repeat. Switch to ballista, switch to double shotgun, grenade, stagger him, switch to ballista, switch to double shotgun, grenade, boom, easy. And everything as you're doing this, as you're switching all the weapons, you are still pressing WS, 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 and you're still strafing back and forth. Good luck.
And can only be attacked after blatantly signaling so. I personally have no issue with him, as I find the challenge fun and engaging. And if you don't, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm saying you're bad. I'm not getting into the details for each one, since that's not funny, but don't worry, there are 27 of them, without DLC. And if you're wondering why I'm fighting the entire cast of Dante's Inferno, you're actually the minority. This game tries at every moment to make exposition collectible. Why is there just a fucking big spear in the planet, and why is heaven comprised entirely of moth people?
You cannot stop.
Spear in the planet, and why is heaven comprised entirely of moth?
Moth pussy. Wait a minute. I know this manga. I don't remember this panel from the manga. Hold on. I might have read also a different version of this manga. Huh. I see. I'm getting all the Wish versions. He's playing and reading the better ones. I get it now.
You cannot stop the procession.
We indeed
feels
can't
like
stop
one
the
guy wrote the
procession.
events of the game, and another guy invented LSD just to write the backstory. So I'm going to combine both of them into a single, accurate interpretation of the Doom lore. If I say something objectionable, just pretend that it's right.
Okay. Part 2. Lore.
One Brazilian years ago, there was a guy named The Dad, who was effectively God, and he made moths in lamp heaven called the Makers. Every 10,000 years, all moths combine their collective consciousness into one gigamoth called the Khan Maker, who is the Moth Pope. So the moths rule over the galaxy, sort of, until Earth happens, and then we start fucking everything up. The Moth Pope finds John Doom after a spree of murders, and he explains to her that yes, hell exists. It's weird that humans knew about hell before God. Anyways, the Moth Pope, after finding out that hell is real, very reasonably decides to sacrifice a planet to it. See, it turns out that God literally pieced the fuck out like 10 million years ago and let the moths do whatever they wanted. So now the Khan Maker cannot be replaced and cannot die, so she sort of goes insane from the constant immortality. Now the plan is to get some of that sweet hell energy by repeatedly sacrificing entire planets to the Dark Lord next.
Okay, so far, he's correct with absolutely everything, yeah. Moth people, God is that. Literally, the God just doesn't exist. God has abandoned us. Moth people sacrificing our planet. Humans being extremely stupid. Yeah, so far, it makes absolute sense. Everything he says. What do you mean by not being way too accurate? Like, everything is accurate. This is exactly the lore of Doom Eternal.
exchange for it. Meanwhile, a sentient robot named Samuel Hayden is very busy on Mars. Earth has this problem called climate change, and we need to find a new energy source. So instead of something hard and difficult like solar power, Samuel Hayden is like, what if we extract this cool blue energy from hell? Also, it's on
Great
Mars.
idea.
Earth does this until Hell begins breaking into Mars and John Doom stops them, which is the plot of Doom 2016. This makes Samuel Hayden mad because he's funded by the Koch brothers and really doesn't want to build a windmill. So instead of destroying the demonic crucible, he just brings it back to Earth and catapults John Doom into the backstory planet. If you think that sounds unreasonable, just remember that we considered blotting out the sun before building a fucking solar panel.
We didn't. We humans are very smart.
Unsurprisingly, demons invade to recycle Earth into blue energy for the moth. So John Doom has to fight both Catholics and Hell. And as you go through the game, you might notice that it just brings up random shit at will. Like, oh sorry, the Soul Factory is being held there by 2 gigantic titans. And it's like, okay, I guess Attack on Titan is real now. Doomslayer, you'll need this knife to kill my...
To be fair, the unreasonable titans in all of the maps makes the game so much better. Like honestly, like just roaming around the whole map, and then you look at to your left, and then you see a whole ass giant just walking there in the first fucking level. I'm like, okay, so this is the game that I'm playing, huh? And now then comes the question: so when am I gonna kill that thing? By the way, like every time I see the giants, it's just, oh my god. How? And now with the Doom Dark Ages, we are the fucking giant. My fucking dreams came true. I'm gonna be the giant. We are actually gonna beat the fuck out of the giants. That is crazy.
My son. Oh shit, what'd he do?
He's the giant uncontrollable demon titan.
The plot of the main game, to understate it, is psychotic and acts as an increasing checklist of galactically convoluted tasks. Just in this one game, John Doom finds an ancient city like 3 times, goes to the North Pole to kill Santa, fights Croatia, does a little trolling, does a little cockfighting, invades heaven, and permanently kills God, but we'll get back to that. Doom 2016 took place on Mars, but this game has you soaring around the universe on a fucking bungee cord, so I understand completely when people say they don't play Doom Eternal for the plot. They're just wrong. I play Doom Eternal for the plot, and that might sound strange to you, but
I also play Doom Eternal for the plot. I love looking at the demon's feet.
Eternal's plot is pure insanity, and it does everything that it needs to. We are painfully aware that the plot exists as a contrivance because the environmental designer went fucking ballistic. I just don't care. I played every single level.
That is true. Dude, when I played Doom Eternal for the first time, and I got to a place where you can see the whole environment, the whole map, I just stopped for like a couple of minutes to just suck it all in. Like, the environmental is so crazy, and the guy who made it was on crack, like absolute crack. I don't know how anyone can do that. And it's, by the way, it's in a game where you just move around and you don't really see the environment where you are at. So they didn't have to go that hard on the level design, and they still did because they give a shit about gamers.
Because the environmental designer went fucking
game.
ballistic. I just don't care. I played every single level, gleefully wondering, oh boy, what stupid shit is next? I cannot fucking wait. So play the game for the plot. It is integral to the experience of Doom Eternal. Oh, but Max0r, there's a plot hole. How did the Doomslayer get the first? Everything I've said so far, except some of it, applies in full partially to the base game. But there's $40 reduce of DLC where the gameplay is faster, the challenge harder, and the plot somehow even fucking worse in all the right departments. 2016 was a wash. Eternal is Usain Bolt, and the Ancient Gods is fucking Venezuelan inflation. You thought it was over when John Doom beat the demons and destroyed all of heaven, but you were wrong. That's just the beginning. And with both parts of the DLC now fully out, my recommendation cannot be understated. Let's get into why, and more importantly, what?
Part 3. The Ancient Gods.
This section of the video is going to be different, far more structural, and aligned with the plot of the DLC. Because the gameplay isn't what's new about the product, it's the challenge and the story.
I don't really believe
I originally wrote an entire script for this and then trashed it because it doesn't truly communicate how this DLC drove me to insanity, and I hard cope by simping for 2D women. I will tell you if there's a very big gameplay change, but the point of the DLC is more of what's amazing. If you like Doom Eternal, you will like the DLC.
Yeah, the DLC is just basically the base game, all the mechanics of the base game, just better. That's it. It's literally the base game. It's literally Doom Eternal, but more. There's more demons and more demons. And that's it. That's why we love the DLC. The first one.
Period. Okay, so Samuel Hayden, you might know him for his various appearances on political YouTube debates advocating for carbon positivity. It turns out that he's not a robot, he's a fucking angel. Also, John Doom's Alexa is God. That's not a joke or exaggeration. His name is Vega, and he's the physical remnant of God's consciousness in AI form. So Samuel, now a fucking divine being, wants you to revive him since both God and Satan are trapped in volleyballs. At this point, the video can't count as spoilers because it makes no fucking sense. The first
These are huge spoilers. But it's like the same with saying with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I can spoil the 7th part of JoJo, Steel Ball Run, and say, yes, Jesus Christ is an actual character. Now I have spoiled the entire plotline of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run. Does it make any fucking sense? No. The same goes for Doom Eternal. Does it make sense? No. He just literally spoiled the entire plotline.
DLC is essentially trolling because you kill God. Why? Well, obviously to revive Satan, exclusively so you can fight him. What could go wrong? Of particular note here on the gameplay side is the final boss, who is Samuel Hayden, because holy shit, this fight is hard. Also, the premise is ridiculous, and this
fight was amazing, by the way. This boss is crazy.
This is speedy, fun, and everything else I've already said about the game in general. And when you finally beat Samuel and revive the Dark Lord, it turns out he's you. Yeah. The only thing in the world that could possibly kill John Doom, himself.
No blood can be spilled. And this holy blood.
Honestly, I think this is what would actually
so now
happen.
the not you decides to go to hell where we all belong.
I don't think John Doom would just stop shooting. I think he would just release his whole mag into him and then realize, okay, well, let's try different means to kill you.
DLC is just chasing him. This is, of course, where the testosterone moves into critical levels. How does one get to the capital city of hell? Well, that's a great question. First of all, go to the planet of Argentinur, light the bat signal, learn how to train your dragon, okay? Go into the giant spear that pierces the entire
cinema, by the way. We are actually gonna ride the dragons in Doom the Dark Ages. Cinema. I cannot wait. We were teased in Doom Eternal, but now we are getting treats in Dark Ages.
Signal. Learn how to train your dragon, okay? Go into the giant spear that pierces the entire planet for some reason. Get the key to the Gate of Doom. Now go back to Earth, traverse The Last of Us 2, and find the Gate of Doom. But before I get to the final showdown with Crash Bandicoot Twin Sanity, there's some cool gameplay I want to talk about. You have a fucking hammer in this DLC.
Hammer?
Used to defy the laws
hammer
of
time!
Secondarily gives you everything in the game. Health? No problem. Ammo? Absolutely. My deepest, darkest urges? Yes. As I used this, I became more obsessed with hammers than Bob the fucking Builder. And there's plenty of demons to use it on, since the DLC adds a shitload of reskins. For instance, the Spirit is a congealed amphetamine mass that makes every infested target 3 times faster. Microsoft Pinball, who is fun to fight, I promise. And the Blood Makers. They are my original OC. Do not steal it. So now that we've reached Cleveland, it's time for the DLC to gain style. This is the culmination of all of our work. The final battle against Satan himself. And holy shit, you can feel it. When the Sentinel army shows up and everyone's ready to kick ass, you just can't help but feel like your dick is being tickled. Cleveland lives up to the hype.
This scene is, in my opinion, one of the greatest scenes in gaming history. Unfortunately, the gameplay that comes after it is kind of shit, not gonna lie. And the boss fight that comes after all that is also even worse. So, great scene, shit gameplay. I can't shit on the second part of the Ancient Gods. I think it got its backlash. I think there is not even a single soul thinking it's better than the first part, or it's even better than the entire game. I think everyone knows that the second part of Ancient Gods is just shit, and most of it I think comes from the fact that they made this fucking second DLC in the peak of COVID. Like, I don't understand why, and also it was extremely ambitious. It was the biggest piece they have ever done. It was filled with lore. It was filled with so many quests. It was filled with so many huge things. The ambitions for this part, for this DLC, were so huge, and they have to do this, all of that, in peak COVID. I think what would be better if they, like, said, okay, fuck this. We're gonna release the DLC like years later or with the next sequel. I think it would be way better. I think then just let it cook for a little longer. Like, I think that's the main issue of the Ancient Gods. It was extremely ambitious, it was so huge, and it was all just packed, all of it in one small DLC. This just, yeah, wasn't that entertaining, was it?
Type 2 for once, because it's a non-stop battle of epic proportions right up until the final boss. This is a universe which implicitly acknowledges your godlike power by making the only credible threat to you your identical twin with red eyes in a Gundam. That is called fucking gameplay, and it's a beautiful send-off right up until the man himself, who awkwardly waddles around the arena like a penguin, but that's fine, the fight is still cool.
I'm not saying anything about this fight.
Wow, you know, it's so sad that Steve Jobs died in Ligma.
Who's Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls. Got him! Now, before we defenestrate, there's a few details I want to talk about that truly complete this game, make it a real 10 out of good.
Okay.
Firstly, I would classify the music of this game as metal without guitars, and I fucking
What?
dig it so much.
Wait, this is funny.
Game as metal without guitar.
This is actually funny. Him saying that this music sounds like metal without guitars is actually funny because back in before 2016, when they remade Doom, the old games, the first Doom 1993, it was the classic metal. Doom 2 was more slower and more like horror-ish, and then third game was Tool. 2016, when they started making it, brought the god himself, Mick Gordon, into the game. They told him that the music for this Doom is not gonna use guitars. They don't wanna have again, heavy metal with guitars. They wanna make a different and a more unique style with this game. They don't wanna be like the generic Doom sound that we've always heard so many times. So they wanna go with like a different direction in the music. So as they were going on, they were actually trying to make the metal sound without any guitars, which is kind of funny, him saying this. They later on didn't realize that it is kind of impossible, that the guitars sounds extremely well, and then they decided, okay, we are gonna listen to Mick Gordon and make what he thinks for the game is the best for the music. But yeah, this is actually funny because this is the most true thing that he said this entire video.
And I fucking dig it so much. How do you make metal without a guitar? Well, you sample Mongolian throat singing and your lawnmower. It just sounds so good. Normally music isn't very important, but it's so good that it becomes important. And the role it plays in setting your mood is vital. Also, the main composer, Mick Gordon, like me, watches virtual YouTubers every waking second of his day.
Great minds think alike.
That's
In fact,
true,
most
he
of the
did.
music in this video is just Doom Eternal soundtrack. Guess you'll have to rewatch it over and over again to really listen.
Ah yeah, the only thing they fear is you.
Finally, this game looks really good. Not in a, oh wow, look at all these particles I'm stroking out way. It's more like, how does literally anyone have time to model all of the geometry in the game? It is unreal. It is so downright inspired that it makes you feel bad while playing it. Doom Eternal is such a fast and pulse-pounding game that it's like sprinting through the fucking Louvre. How am I supposed to appreciate the Mona Lisa when it looks like this? Should you buy the game? Yes, I am very biased. If speed and action is what you crave and you want to induce cardiac arrest early, this is your game. I would like to thank the Demonic Brotherhood funding this channel in exchange for their souls. If you would like to engage in blood sacrifice on my behalf, you can head to my Patreon to learn more. Thank you all.
Amazing. As wise man once said, the game is free. You're paying for the music. It's crazy to see his older videos and his older editing style. It's crazy how much it changed. Like everything from the script writing, the editing, the cinematic feel. It's crazy to see this in just 4 years. I think his editing style changed dramatically. Like this, if I saw this and I didn't knew it's from Max0r, I would never guess it's from him. Like actually, this is crazy. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, you can do the basic YouTube stuff, or you can follow me on Twitch where I semi-consistently stream. And that's all for me. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and goodbye.